Hey everyone, recap of day one in the Natalie Cochran case. A case we switched to yesterday because the Jason Chen case was a little boring. But let's get to it and do it as they say. This is a case that will be based mostly on circumstantial evidence. That's what the state said in their opening statements, but their theory Michael Cochran, a healthy, strapping 38-year-old man, was misled by his wife, who ran a Ponzi scheme unbeknownst to him. When he finally found out and had a meeting set up with the bank, she obtained insulin from her next door neighbor who had a kid with diabetes, gave him insulin shots. He had a seizure, fell out over in the kitchen. Instead of getting him to the hospital, she took some pictures and wrote his friend that, oh, he just collapsed. And they put him on a couch where he stayed for a lot of hours. And then finally he went to the hospital where he passed away a short time later. All of it because she was running a Ponzi scheme. She has admitted to that. She's serving 11 years. That he had no idea about. He knew nothing about the Ponzi scheme. It was her, and this is her motive. On the face of it, kind of like the Chandler Henderson case, finally someone found out what I'm doing. I'm going to end it. All the Corey Richards out in Arizona, the husband don't want to do the business deals I want to do, so I can just... So that's the state's theory. They have no direct evidence of any of this. It'll all be circumstantial. That's what they promised us. Circumstantial evidence is still evidence. It's fine. It's instead of just looking at one spot, you have to look at all the spots, but they will still lead to that one spot. And that one spot is he found out about her financial dealings, got upset, and she chose to unalive him. Her defense team, who I love, because it's led by a Polish guy with the last name Victor. He has the best Arnold accent of any defense lawyer I've ever heard. But he's a terrier, and I like a good defense lawyer. He attacked them right off the bat, saying he wasn't a healthy 38-year-old guy. He'd been hospitalized 4 times the year before. So he had an aversion to going to the hospital. That's why she didn't call an ambulance, because he would rather unalive than go back to a hospital. That's what he said, which one of the witnesses kind of confirmed. And that's the reason why she just put him on the couch to say, well, he's going to get better. Again, he's 38 years old. If you have a seizure, I would probably call someone. If he had a complicated medical history and she thought, well, he's just going to sleep it off, it happened before, that could give me reasonable doubt that she didn't intend him to unalive. But he claims Michael knew everything. He was part of the Ponzi scheme, and they just didn't charge him with it because he had left his mortal coil when she was charged. Looking at with the first witnesses, he's a forensic fraud investigator from the state troopers. Well, he used to be at the state troopers. He was there to kind of lay down the foundation of how she cheated everyone. A lot of good objections from the defense. They got a lot of what they really want to turn this into a financial case. Got that out of there, but he claimed Michael had no idea. But then on cross, when they went through all the fun stuff that was bought for the money, all of it was what men would probably most likely buy: 2 motorcycles, 2 ATVs, a Shelby Cobra knockoff. The only thing that was kind of female related was a pair of diamond earrings that he bought for her. So he had no idea there was a Ponzi scheme going on, and they had a big extra amount of income. They were in business together, and they were spending money like it's nothing. But he had no idea there was a Ponzi scheme going that gave them all this extra money, because he knew the books. So where should the money come from? Again, foundation for a lot of reasonable doubt here. And that witness got full defense dementia as soon as they started asking him questions on cross. He couldn't answer anything. I think he looked weak. I think the defense team is good. Then we heard from the next door neighbor. She claims that she gave Natalie the insulin because Natalie complained about high blood sugar after some cancer treatment. She said she didn't give him any needles or anything. So I don't know when they're going to prove how she gave it to Michael. We also saw a weird picture where Michael is laying on the floor, what she claims is with seizures, where she's sending him, well, his blood sugar is like this and that. But she talked about they didn't know anything was wrong with the family, never imagined anything like this happened. And again, on cross, didn't really make Natalie look like the killing type. What probably was the thing I think the juries might bite onto is she was asked, did Natalie say anything strange to you? And said, yeah, when at the hospital, she allegedly told her, if you could hold a pillow over his face because I don't like seeing him this way. That's, again, is it just a grieving wife saying stuff like that? But it sounds bad in court. Everything you say will sound bad in court. On cross, we went into if she knew about Michael's alleged steroid use. And she said, no, I just know he used what we normally use, like protein powder and stuff like that. The last testimony came from a state trooper who was also a family friend. He testified as a civilian because they have invested in the Ponzi scheme while his wife had. He was called to the scene to help Natalie get Michael on a couch. And they had to force her to get him to the hospital. That was kind of what he could get into. But again, on cross, they are really focusing heavily on this illegal substance abuse with combined with his bodybuilding. And I think it's a good idea because there are studies out there showing testosterone use combined with insulin can be a problem with that leads to seizure. Plus, insulin is a well-known supplement used in bodybuilding because it makes your glucose depot think that they are not filled, so they can open up and you can get more nutrition into your cells, and thereby you can grow more. So insulin use is prolific in bodybuilding. So if that's the road they're taking, I can see reasonable doubt being raised, but it's going to be interesting. We're going to cover it today, and I hope you'll come watch it with us.